Hey everyone, this is Nazacat, and I was sitting here thinking about my survivalist philosophies, and I just kind of had this thought. When a lot of survivalists talk about what they hoard and all their gear and their bug out bags, they refer to the situations that they're going to be in as SHTF. It's Shikaka hits the fan. Okay? And, I mean, there's so many ways to define that. But, I wanted to define it. I wanted to put some type of thought process into this definition. And what I kind of think about when I hear about Shikaka hits the fan is I'm thinking economic meltdown. I'm thinking hyperinflation has pretty much run rampant to the point where our Federal Reserve notes have gone to zero. So basically, in a nutshell, I'm thinking about Weimar Republic, and I'm thinking about Zimbabwe. Okay, so if you're going to follow my train of thought here, let's say, after hyperinflation, this is worth nothing, all right? Now, what my question is, how would we place value on gold and silver and, copper, nickel, all those other things, if the dollar goes to zero? Because all of our lives, we value things based on how much it costs. Here in the United States, obviously, we refer to things based on the cost with the US dollar. Like this would be $70. This one would be about $35. So in a hyperinflation scenario, gold would probably be like $5,000 an ounce. Maybe silver, I don't know, 2,000 an ounce or 1,000 an ounce, so with the hyperinflation, everything goes up. But when the value goes to zero, can I sit there and say, well, the last price before the dollar hit zero was about 7,000 for gold, so I can calculate 7,000. But I mean, in the Shikaka hits the fan, if I'm sitting here like, okay, well, my water is equal to 1 gold ounce, you're going to be sitting there thinking that's not worth it because it costs so much US dollars for that 1 ounce of gold. And the thing is, too, we all grew up in a time where everything was based on the cost of goods based on these Federal Reserve notes. So I want you guys to think about that. I mean, how do we place value on these without any currency? I mean, just to quote The Matrix, it's like, geez, what a mind job. So all my life, I've been using this, and for this to go to zero, and that's it. I mean, my car, how much is that going to be if there was no currency? I can't sit there and say, well, my car is worth $16,000. In a Shikaka hits the fan scenario, it wouldn't matter. And that's what I think about, too, when people talk about, okay, well, what about hoarding copper pennies? What about hoarding nickels? What about hoarding silver? What about gold? How are we going to place value on these? I mean, we could possibly place value on them based on need. But, I mean, if you need something really badly and someone says, oh, give me 2 gold ounces, we're still stuck with the fact that, man, that's $4,000 or $5,000. Heck no, I'm not going to give you 3 ounces of gold. So, in that type of mindset, that's a lot of stuff hitting the fan. Because, we're just going to have to retrain our brains to think that this is not $34. This is not, a gram of gold is not $70. Because in the Shikaka hits the fan scenario for this video, I've already defined that as the dollar going to zero. So I just want to get your guys' opinion and thoughts about this. How are we going to place value on our gold, silver, maybe even copper, all these precious metals that we have? How are we going to place value if the dollar goes to zero? And I'm talking about Zimbabwe, I'm talking about Weimar Republic, where all of this stuff is worthless. Okay? Let me know what you think. Leave some comments below. You know, I just really want to pick your brain. And yes, you know, I dared to go where people really didn't want to go. But, I mean, I want you guys to be aware of that because it's such a mind job. You know, I mean, over 30 years of existence, for me, I'm sitting here like, how am I going to value it without the cost? And how am I going to value things without the cost referring to our Federal Reserve notes? And if you're in other countries, I mean, the currencies that you use, I mean, you guys, I mean, you know, you've grown up that way too. So, you know, let me know what you guys think. How would you value like gold and silver if we didn't have any currency or the currency went to zero? Okay, so I'm going to leave it right here. It just really kind of gets my brain. And, you know, for 30-something years, I have to retrain my brain. You know, wow. All right, so leave your comments and just let me know what you guys think about this scenario. And, you know, also, too, put down your definition of when the shikaka hits the fan. If you're a survivalist out there, how do you define that? You know, when the shikaka hits the fan, what does that mean to you? So based on that, once you sit there and think about, okay, what does it mean to me? Then, you know, I can start seeing the logic of what you're saving, what you're hoarding. You know, I mean, obviously with the survivalists, you got your bug out bags. You might have your ammo, you have your weapons. You know, I understand that. But what you're hoarding. Like some people, they hoard nickels. Some people are saying copper pennies. Some are saying gold. Some are silver. You know. So, yeah, put down what the definition is in your mind when you say SHTF or when the shikaka hits the fan. All right, and let me know too, how would you value or place value on your gold, silver, whatever metals that you have if the currency has gone to zero. All right, this is Nazik again. Thanks, guys.